The sole purpose of this video is to provide a basic overview and orientation of your new apparatus. This video is not intended to act as or replace individualized driver-operator training. Individual fire departments may base guidelines, policies, and procedures tailored for best practices. Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment representatives are not liable for injuries caused from acts resulting from actions inconsistent with the information provided within this video and/or accompanying manuals. Refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual for complete details relating to the components and features of this apparatus. Only trained personnel should operate this vehicle or perform maintenance. You are responsible for learning how to operate this fire apparatus under all conditions without having to refer to the manual while operating at an emergency incident. This video will discuss types of warnings and caution labels. It is your responsibility to locate and identify each of the labels and understand the importance and associated hazards. Warning labels will point out procedure that must be taken or action that must be avoided to guard against the possibility of serious injury or death. Caution labels will advise you that there is a risk of damage to property if certain precautions are not followed. Continuous training, reviewing of operation and service manuals, developing good standardized practices will assist driver operators with a more complete understanding of the components and operation of this fire apparatus. As the driver operator of this vehicle, you are responsible for understanding the function of each component of the apparatus, maintaining control of the fire apparatus at all times while in operation. Make operational and functional changes while operating at an emergency without having to read operator's instructions or safety warning labels. Operate manual override and emergency shutdown procedures immediately if a component fails to operate properly. Components location may vary with each Pierce fire apparatus. Review the exact location of each component prior to operation. Major inconsistencies between your vehicle and the information contained in this video should be directed to your sales representative. Safe operation of any vehicle is the responsibility of the driver operator. You must learn the location and function of all controls, switches, gauges, valves, inlets, and discharges. Due to a higher center of gravity, heavy trucks have a significantly higher rollover tendency than other types of vehicles. To reduce the risk of rollover, avoid making sharp turns, excessive speed, and avoid abrupt maneuvers. In the event of a rollover crash, an unbelted person is significantly more likely to become injured or die than a person wearing a seatbelt. In the event of a crash, unbuckled occupants can also become a hazard to other occupants, as they may be thrown around inside the cab. Seatbelts are required while in operation. Please refer to your warranty certificates for details and information enclosed in your manuals. Customer-installed equipment must be mounted to withstand road travel and comply with NFPA 1901. Modifications such as drilling holes or welding to structural frame components of the chassis are not permitted. Contact Pierce for instruction and review of non-structural sheet metal or other dissimilar metals for modification. Follow the radio installation guide for further assistance on installing or mounting electronics. Before placing your new apparatus into service, perform a primary inspection of key components of the apparatus, including all fluid levels, anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability control, and automatic traction control. Weigh your apparatus to ensure that it conforms to axle and brake ratings. Never exceed the gross axle rating printed on the label inside the cab. Exceeding these ratings could lead to reduced component life, personal injury, or death. Review the use of auxiliary braking systems, compression brake, exhaust brake, electronic retarder, and hydraulic retarder. Before placing the apparatus in service, refer to the operational maintenance manuals. Information on the operation and maintenance functions for the components such as the pump, pressure governor, and foam systems, along with other options, is provided in either the Pierce manuals and/or other manufacturer support information delivered with the apparatus. If you need more information, please contact Hughes Fire Equipment. Congratulations, Griffin Fire Department, Thurston County 13, on your new fire apparatus, job number 30370. Please utilize this job number when referencing your vehicle with Hughes Fire Equipment and Pierce Manufacturing. Let's get started on a brief orientation of your new apparatus. Let's take a look around the outside of the vehicle from a variety of different perspectives, and then we'll start in with some of the components. Let's start with the front of your vehicle. Starting down at the base front bumper, you'll find two open-ended tow hooks. Moving up onto the face of the bumper, you'll find dual air horns on the right and left. Mounted in the front bumper, you'll find your electronic siren PA system. Up onto the bumper itself, you'll find your bell. Just in the center, you'll find a tub storage covered for your hose, and also your mechanical siren. Moving up onto the body, you'll find on the outer edges in the front, you'll find turn indicators, headlight cluster for low and high beam on the inner cluster. On the top, you'll find your turn indicator arrow. Moving just inward of that arrow, you'll find emergency warning lights. You'll find 3 wiper blades on your seamless front windshield. Moving to the outer edge, you'll find your mirrors. Moving up on top of the brow, you'll find your running lights. Further up on top of the vehicle in the center, you'll find a forward-facing floodlight. And then you'll find at the very top your emergency light bar. Let's take a couple close-ups here of some of the images. First, Pierce logo and also the Griffin logo. Moving down onto the front bumper, here are some close-ups of those tow hooks and also the electronic siren and air horn. Moving up onto the front bumper on the top section, you'll find a tubbed storage location. This is covered. When accessed inside this area, you'll find a swivel 1.5-inch front discharge, and also hose storage location. Here's some generalized views of the front of your apparatus, including on the sides. You'll find emergency warning lights on the bumper section on your extended bumper. Here's a cutout of your front headlights, turn indicator, and emergency lights. You can also see down in the lower section where the bell is located, the rope that continues through the front portion of your apparatus. On the side, the front marker, and also your logo. On the very top, you'll find that forward-facing flood, emergency warning lights at the very top, and here's an image of that front bumper extended emergency side-facing light. Generalized view of the side of your vehicle. Let's start first with that emergency light on the front bumper. We'll move up from that location first to the marker light turn indicator on the side of your apparatus. Moving up to the top, you'll find all of your doors pull handle with keyed access. Hand grips for entering and exiting the vehicle in points of entry. Located in the red in the center over the tire, you'll find your Shore Power auto eject plug. At the very top, you'll find a side-facing floodlight. An additional emergency warning light at the top. Generalized view here of the driver's side, you have an additional mirror in addition with your convex and flat mirror. Close up here of the pull handle, your logo, and the auto eject. Your Shore Power auto eject is a 15 amp plug. Looking over the top of the vehicle, you'll find once again side-facing floods and emergency warning lights. Let's take a look at the passenger side. Similar configuration with a few exceptions. Let's go ahead and look underneath the front area of the vehicle. You'll find perimeter lighting, LED. Let's go ahead and start now midsection of your apparatus. We'll start at the very top where the arrow is indicating for your cross lays. This is going to be your number 1 and number 2 cross lay in yellow and also in white. General view here of the side of the pump panel. We'll start with some of the components in this area. Here's the lower section, and then we'll move all the way back up to the very top. Starting with the top of the pump panel, you'll find in the gray area your master intake. Moving to the right, you'll find your master discharge. Located in between those two, you'll find your test gauge ports for vacuum and pressure. In the red section is your foam system. This is a Foam Pro system. You can see there's an on and off switch, a percentages of foam, and also the system status. To the right, you'll find your foam level for tank A from refill, quarter, half, 3/4, and full. Just to the right of that, you'll find an amber check transmission. Beneath that, an audible alarm, and to the right, the Pierce TPG throttle pressure governor. To the right, you'll find a set of switches. First, your panel lights, a future switch, and also a pump engaged indicator. Let's go ahead and move down from this location to the actual discharge valves. Number 1 cross lay, water and foam in yellow, number 2 in white, and the front discharge, water and foam in purple. You'll also find number 1 driver's side discharge in the red, number 2 passenger in the orange, and number 3 driver's side in the blue. These are all color coded. As you move further to the right, you're going to find this is your large diameter passenger side discharge. This is also a wheel valve. You can see inside there is a 12-to-1 ratio for each turn. Moving just to the right in pink, you'll find your deluge discharge. This is also a 12-to-1 ratio. Let's go ahead and move further to the right. You'll find this placard. This is the Pierce placard regarding your test pressures for 150, 200, and 250 psi, the associated RPMs, and also the job number at the very top, and also to pump in 4th gear. You have your water level in blue, red indicating refill, green indicating full, and to the right, priming instructions for at least 1,000 RPMs, and also the push to prime. Moving further over, you'll find your driver's rear discharge, which is foam capable. You can see that in the label. And also the tank, fill, and recirculating line. Higher up from that, you'll find a round engine cooler. It is a twist, not a pull. You'll also find your tank, fill, and recirculating line in this area, and tank to pump. Let's now go ahead and move from this section just down to the next section here. On the far left-hand side, you'll find a warning label regarding pressurized caps and the associated hazards with those pressurized caps. You're also going to find your 2 discharges here, 2.5 inch in size, your manifold drain, and rear driver's side discharge drain. As you move further over, number 1 and number 3 drains. Just beneath this and to the right, you'll find your 2.5 inch auxiliary inlet, and you'll also find your Watrous placard for serial number and pump type. This is going to be your driver's side auxiliary inlet for that 2.5 inch inlet. You'll also find an access door. Once gained entry into this access door, you'll find your calibration flush, inject, and inlet for your foam system. And underneath that, you'll also find, once again, perimeter lighting. As we move just to the rear or section of the vehicle to the body, let's talk about what's behind these roll-up doors. Let's first start with the first roll-up door here, just past the pump panel. As you can see, with all of the compartment doors open, all of the shelves are adjustable. They're currently in a fixed position. The compartments have interior lighting, as you can see in this image. We'll now move to the first compartment. You can see there are two adjustable shelves here. They are currently in a fixed position. They are adjustable. As we move to the midsection, you'll find this tool board. This is adjustable not only front to back, but there's also the ability to mount tools on the front side and also on the back side. To gain access once this has been opened from the latch, there is a small latch on the hinge side. This is the image of it here. Simply lift that minor small pin, which releases the mechanism, allowing it to return back to its original position and lock closed. Let's go ahead and look down now where the wheel well is of the apparatus. On the front and rear of the apparatus, you'll find access doors. In this first access door, once we've gained access in it, you'll find that the top section has your bottle storage and the bottom section houses your DEF location. This is your DEF for your engine. This is a 4.5 US gallon tank and it has a blue cap. Located just over the rear tire, you'll find a side-facing emergency warning light. And as we move to the rear of this position, you'll find an additional access door. Once we gain access into this door here by simply lifting the latch, you'll find bottle storage with straps and also your ultra-low sulfur diesel fuel, which is a silver cap. Let's go ahead and move further back to the next compartment. As you can see in this compartment, a variety of different things. Adjustable shelves on the top. There is housing for a lower adjustable shelf. And in the upper corner in the left, you'll find a shore power exterior plug. Located underneath this, you'll find storage for your folding wheel chocks. Moving to the rear of the apparatus, we'll talk about some of the components within this area. Let's first start in the upper left-hand corner. First, a side-facing scene light, a 360-degree emergency light, and a backup light. Here is the side-facing flood. As we move forward, this is going to be an emergency light on the rear. And as you can see, a rear scene adjustable. Both this light are on the right and left of the vehicle. Let's start now down at the lower section here with your cluster of backup lights, turn and brake, and also emergency light. Same configuration as the opposite side. You can see the inner section here of the light located just to the middle is going to be a emergency light. Moving up to the very top, you can see those two top lights for scene lights, and then just beneath that you'll find your traffic advisor. Let's take a look, just a generalized view here. These are all of your fold down steps folded in the outward position or use position, and now they're currently folded back up. There are also step lights located near each of those steps. You can see the logo here on the back of the door for E13-1. This is a roll-up door. Once we gain access behind this roll-up door, you'll find a fixed shelf at the top portion and then a roll-out or pull-out style shelf at the bottom. To access that shelf at the bottom on the right-hand side of the wheel, you'll find a mechanism to release that shelf. Once it's released from this push-down mechanism, it will allow that shelf to pull outward. Here is that shelf in the fully extended position. To restore it back to its original position, push that lever once again, allowing it to return back. Overhead, you'll find your traffic advisor, a rear scene, and also that rear discharge. Here is the driver's side rear discharge. This is capable of foam and water and is a 2.5-inch discharge port. Located in the center, just above the Pierce logo, you'll find your rear-facing scene light. above the scene light, you'll find once again the traffic advisor, which is located with the control on the inside of the driver's compartment. On the right-hand side, near the diamond-plated covered area, you'll find this access door. This is where your ladder storage is located. Once accessed, you'll find a 14-foot roof and a 24-foot extension. You'll also find a 10-foot folding ladder and then associated pike poles or long pole storage in this area. Let's go ahead and move over to the passenger side of the vehicle. We'll talk about some of the components as we move through these compartments. Let's first start with the very rear compartment in the back. 2 adjustable shelves in this location. As you can see in the center section, there is also an adjustable shelf and also in the forward compartment. Looking inside this compartment here, you can see once again perimeter interior lighting and also adjustable shelves. We'll talk about some of the components near the rear wheel and associated compartments here, similar to the same layout as the opposite side, except there are no fuel compartments within these areas. These are strictly bottle storage locations. Here are 3 bottle storage locations in addition with the straps for safety. As we move forward, in addition to the back, there is an additional section here for tool storage or bottle storage in this area. Moving just to the very lower section, you'll find your exhaust. You'll also find a marker light, but most important, this left-hand warning label regarding extreme temperatures for diesel exhaust, and to be cautious as to where you park your vehicle. Moving forward, mid-section of your apparatus, you can see your fold-down steps all currently in the folded down position. There are 4 of them. Moving to the midsection just above, you'll find a grab handle in addition with the work light. Located in the very center, you'll find your deluge system, Apollo brand. And as we move to the rear section, you'll find your water tank fill and also your foam fill location. You'll see here one indicating with the A on it. This is for your Class A foam, and the other is the water fill location. The foam tank does have a latch on the side of it. The water tank does not. Let's go ahead and move out to the very rear section of the apparatus. On the top, you'll see that you have a fully encapsulated top section here for hose bed covered storage, 2 handles, and also a latch in the front and also in the rear section. When we access this point, you can see that your hose bed is movable. In the very top section here, mid-cab area, you're going to have your deluge system on the very top, also a work light in that area. As we look at the side of the vehicle, we'll go ahead and move through some of the compartments and components in this area. First, let's start with the crosslays. Same configuration as the opposite side, crosslay 1 and crosslay 2. There are also work lights and also latches here to gain access behind the pump panel. Located in this area also, you'll find an access door. This is access to behind the pump panel and also the cab lift controls. Please read the caution and danger regarding the use of the cab lift. In the lower section, Eagle American flag Pierce logo, large diameter intake. The black is going to be your large diameter discharge. In the smaller compartment, you'll find access here to adjust the intake relief valve. And as we also look forward of that, you'll find your 2.5 inch. This is orange discharge and also an associated warning label regarding pressurized caps. On the lower section here, you'll find all of your color-coded and labeled discharge drains. And as we move to the front section or cab area, you'll find first a warning label regarding the use of seat belts and entanglement. So please read those indications also. In between on the hinge side, you'll find this red access strap to help assist you in and out of the cab. And as we move to the very front of the vehicle, you'll find also additional warning labels on the side of the vehicle's doors at all entry points. This vehicle is equipped with SCBAs in 3 of the seats, first in the driver's seat and the 2 rear-facing seats. Underneath the passenger seat, you'll find this additional compartment underneath the seat and also a candy cane style label regarding access point for wires. Just forward of this position in the front section, you'll find first the access for
filling your windshield wiper. You'll also find the rope for your bell. And just at floor level, you'll find the foot switch for the mechanical siren. Just to the right of this location on the front section is where you'll fill for your windshield wiper fluid. Up onto the dash itself, on the left-hand side, you'll find a barrel-style 12-volt access, in addition with a push-button air horn. Looking overhead, this is going to be from the passenger side looking toward the driver. You'll find push on and off red and white lights, your heating and air conditioning vents. In the rear section, you'll find a center-mounted rear compartment. This has roll-up doors on both sides, accessible with shelves inside. Here are the two rear-facing SCBA seats. Let's now go ahead and move to the driver's side of the vehicle. Once again, you'll find a yellow Pierce logo and also some warning and caution labels in this area. Let's first talk a little bit about some of the warning and caution labels located here. And let's also talk a little bit about this yellow placard on the left-hand side. As we discussed caution, warning, and hazard labels in the first part of the entry, this yellow label here is the manufactured by Pierce. It has the date of manufacture, job number, VIN number, associated gross vehicle weight, tire speed information, and also fluid capacity types and components and types of fluid for each of those components. Also on the door, there are additional warning labels here. Please seek the information on each of those and be knowledgeable on those. This is going to be your access point for your latch for your door. In the center is the locking mechanism. As we move away from the door, just at the first step, you'll find a step light in addition with an air inlet. Also, just at foot level or floor level underneath the seat, you'll find your auto charging system. This is when you're plugged into shore power. This will illuminate and indicate your battery status. Moving just up onto the seat itself, you'll find additional seat comfort, air ride system, and also a front and rear lever in the front underneath the right leg. Also in this area, you'll find your height, length, and gross vehicle weight rating, and also on the very bottom, a job number associated with this vehicle. Generalized view here of the cab interior steering wheel from the driver's perspective. Let's break down some of the components within this area. Starting on the far right is your climate control, siren at the top, some additional rocker switches. Let's first start with this. This is your code 3 siren. This is for the electronic siren and your PA system or public announcement. Underneath that, you'll find your engine brake on-off, settings for that, siren brake in red, mirror heat, and the load manager. You'll also find in the lower section the road to pump for your pump shift, main mirror controls, and apply your system parking brake in yellow. You'll also find your Allison transmission pad, and on the dash the OK to engage the high idle. Moving just down from this location underneath the parking brake and transmission pad, you'll find your mirror control for those exterior mirrors. In the center, you'll find your heat, defrost, and AC climate control. And also overhead, you'll find a set of rocker switches in addition with the push on and off red and white lights inside the cab. Let's cover some of those switches. First, emergency master, roof light, front warning, side warning, lower rear warning, and upper rear warning. Moving to the right, you'll find your front flood, driver flood, passenger flood, rear flood, and then your perimeter lights, which we discussed earlier. Moving further to the right, you'll find an additional air horn electronic horn switch, and also the siren horn selector switch. Also some future switches. You'll find your traffic advisor mounted on a swivel, and in front of that you'll find a puck style light that's red. If it's lit, it's indicating not to move your apparatus, that you have a compartment or a door open or your ladder rack is down. You're also going to find in this rear section of the apparatus these through roll-up doors with shelves. In the upper portion of that, you'll find also power. This is going to be a 12-volt barrel style for access for 12-volt, and just beneath that you'll find a 12-volt block. Congratulations, Griffin Fire Thurston 13 on your new apparatus, job number 30370. If you have any questions regarding this video, the content of this video, or have any further questions, contact your Hughes Fire sales associate. Congratulations.